Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It's Will. I'm Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyo. We are awaiting the presence of Michael Bullock. If he does come in, then we will catch him up on what he missed. If not, then we will see him Monday night for Ridiculously Raw. Guys, we got a lot going on right now. There's a major college football game that we're keeping an eye on. Also, we are also keeping an eye on the American League Championship Series. The Yankees are one win away from going to the World Series. We are right now, it is 2-2 in the eighth inning. If there is needed, I might jump in with some bonus commentary if it was warranted. We don't know just yet, but we might have history on our hands where the Yankees, for I believe this will be the 40th time in their franchise history, could be on the verge of going to the World Series. We will wait. I'm not gonna toot the horn just yet, but I can tell you right now, there is a very excited okay, stand corrected. I thought it was 40th. It'll be 41st. If the Yankees does get there, but I will say this. There's a very excited New York Yankee fan right here alongside me. And God, if the Yankees make it to the World Series tonight, I'm in trouble. That's all I'm saying. You might see something that I have not seen happen since maybe 2008.
2009. It was 2009, and well, nothing doing there. They went 1-2-3. So the Guardians will come up in the bottom of the eighth in a 2-2 game, and yeah, it wasn't looking good. But Giancarlo Stanton does it again. I mean, there's your MVP of the ALCS if this happens here. But
Yep.
But there's still a lot of work to be done here, and hopefully the bullpen can, keep it this way going into the ninth, and we'll take it half an inning by a time. But yes, there is an excitement, but honestly, MF, I'm not really excited right now. I'm a little more on the nervous side right now.
Well, obviously, because if Cleveland does win, it forces a game 6 back in New York
Monday night
on Monday. But obviously, it can go a number of different ways. We don't know yet, so we'll see how it plays out. So, with that said, for now, we will start out with Smackdown Live from Columbia, South Carolina, at the Colonial Life Arena, and we started it off with a promo segment by the Bloodline that was later interrupted by main event Jey Uso. And I'm going to say it was very interesting to see how this played out because, he wanted to talk to the new tribal chief, started to talk about everything else that was going on. And I love how the story went. So the one thing I noticed, though, he got in the face of Jacob Fatu. That might cost Jay the Intercontinental title. Because I hate to say it, but that man has a screw loose up in the head. And you don't want to mess around with Jacob Fatu. That's the one guy you don't kind of poke the bear at because he's so unhinged. He's so unique. I hate to say this, but if this plays out, Anthony, I hate to say it, but this is the way that we could get Jay into the bloodline, the quote unquote bloodline situation. But at the end of the day, we don't know how this plays out. But this would be really, really, really scary if you're a Jey Uso fan now, because if Jacob Fatu shows up on Monday
for the bloodline, I mean,
yeah, I mean, if there was ever a time where Jay could lose the Intercontinental title, Monday night could be that night.
And
And
I'm
it
going to make
will.
a bold prediction right now. I think he's going to lose the title on Monday night. I think Braun Breaker is going to regain the title. But I'll get into that in just a minute. Unfortunately, I have to tell it like it is here. And it's never easy when I have to do that, but in this case I have to. The segment ended with no fighting and no real resolution. I kind of felt like WWE wasted the first 20 minutes of the show and got nothing done. Yes, some of it will come into play later, but for now, the opening segment, I hate to say it, felt kind of like filler, if I'm going to be honest with you. But the thing is, though, Jey Uso is as over with the crowd as anyone in WWE right now. A couple months ago, we were doing the yeets. We were yeeting, no doubt about it. Nobody more so than Michael Bullock, but still, I mean, but yeah, it's a great story, yes, and it was a pleasant surprise to see him, yes, but nothing really came about it. I mean, nothing, overly big came out of it, other than him, getting in the face of Jacob Fatu, and well, I mean, I hate to say it, but um, last month we had our moment with Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship on that Monday Night Raw, which will go down as one of the big moments of this year. But at the end of the day, after all this, yes, it was not really the best segment, but it did exactly what they needed to do going into Raw and Jey Uso's match with Braun Breaker. And I think now we have a catalyst for him losing the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship back to Braun Breaker. So we're going to definitely have to keep an eye on that come Monday night when Raw is in the Philadelphia. So we shall see what happens. So so segment. I mean, great surprise to see Jey, but at the end of the day, it kind of felt like a filler segment. Nothing really got done, but it did set up a hook, as we call it, a hook for us to tune in to the Intercontinental title match on Monday night. So not much more to say. MF, set me up for the first match if you would.
It was a triple threat tag team match.
First of two.
The first of two, that's right. And this one was it was the Street Profits versus DIY versus Pretty Deadly, and DIY advances in 8 minutes and 10 seconds. They move on. They wait the winners of another triple threat tag team fight, and the winners of these two matches will face off next week on Smackdown, where the winner of that match becomes the number one contender for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Anthony, DIY advances in 8-10.
Yeah. And by the way, that match next week, SmackDown, the Barclays in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm.
Home away from home, an IWC Capital Arena.
Same. You can say the same for the Philadelphia too. So, anyways, one member of each team was legal at all times, so the action was fast-paced with three men fighting and their partners occasionally getting involved. Multi-team matches can often be chaotic and feel unfocused, but all three of these teams did an excellent job making sure the action was both exciting and easy to follow. Montez Ford and Johnny Gargano each pinned a different member of Pretty Deadly, but since only one of them was legal, DIY was declared the winning team by referee Jessica Carr. This was a fun finish to an entertaining bout. It's great to see the tag team division get some attention while the titles are tied up in the bloodline. I'm going to give this in excess of 2.5 to 3 stars, and big win for DIY, and they're one win away from getting another opportunity to regain the tag team titles that they lost to the bloodline back in August, the night before SummerSlam. So we'll see what happens. So 2.5 to 3 for me. So MF, interesting ending to that match.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3. Interesting ending, but it served its purpose. I had nothing wrong with it. DIY winning, I think that was kind of a partially an upset. I didn't think DIY was going to win it. I actually thought Street Profits was going to get this one. But, it is what it is. So we do indeed move on. Next up after that, now we had was Lash Legend. She went up against Piper Niven, and Lash Legend wins the match in 3 minutes. Unfortunately, this is a throwaway. I'm not going to talk much about it. This was kind of more Lash getting the win to make her team relevant and give the look that they're the next in line and that they are going after Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So it's a nice little hook for them to get that victory. Nothing more to say. Then a lot of promo stuff at that point. I mean, a lot of promo stuff. It leads us to the next match, which was the other tag team triple threat, A Town Down Under versus Los Garzas, Angel and Bertel, and the newest signing for WWE. It happened earlier in the day because the cat got out and it started meowing like crazy. And the Triple H and the boys were like, all right, who let the cat out of the bag? God damn it, you effing idiots. We got no choice. We gotta force it now. Let's do the reveal on .com. The Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin is now in WWE. They didn't even go to NXT. They got elevated right to the main roster. Winners of the bout, when it was all said and done, winners of the bout in, let me see if I can find it, 8 minutes and 35 seconds, Motor City Machine Guns. They advance. Look, the entrance is cool. I like it. I think it's definitely gonna be really good. The match itself, at the end of the day, I thought it was all right. I think it was pretty good. If you know Motor City Machine Guns, if you ever seen them in the ring, you know what they bring to the table. It's something unique. It is really good. You want to talk about great tag team wrestling? This is a great tag team that wrestles. They work each other, they work off each other so damn well. They look amazing when they do it. There's nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, this was easily, I could say, about 3 stars. And welcome to the main roster. Welcome to WWE, the Motor City Machine Guns, one of the biggest staples of TNA wrestling for so many years.
Multi-time TNA World Tag Team Champions. Both men, I believe, former X Division champions. And of course, both men, former TNA World Heavyweight champions. So, major staples. They were the heart and soul of TNA wrestling for so many years. And nobody was more excited about their signing than Michael Bullock was, because I'll tell you, MF, we've been having quite a few chats lately with Raw and SmackDown, and Bullock and when I sold, I'll tell you right now, I sold Sabin and Shelley to Bullock, and I got him riled up in the good way, and we had a little behind the scenes chat after the NFL show last night, and he thought they looked great, and he was very pleased with how they did, and as was I. So, anyways, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley made their SmackDown debut in the second triple threat tag team match of the night against Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, A Town Down Under, and Los Garza. The Guns immediately showed the WWE Universe their signature brand of fast-paced offense with some double-team maneuvers. Even though this was their anticipated debut, all three teams had an opportunity to shine. In fact, Los Garza looked especially impressive. Sabin and Shelley scored the win. So next Friday night on SmackDown at the Barclays in Brooklyn, we're going to have the Motor City Machine Guns against DIY. What? Oh,
Yeah.
Lordy.
Technical wrestling, two of the best technical tag teams that you can offer. This is gonna be fun.
Not just fun, MF, big fun. It's going to be big fun, and I cannot wait to see this on Friday night. And oh my word, just thinking about that is getting me a little amped up. And the announcers did a good job telling fans who Saban and Shelley are, as I did with Bullock, and Angel and Berto's simultaneous moonsaults looked awesome. This was another 2.5 to 3 star match. Obvious outcome was never in doubt. You weren't going to have the Motor City Machine Guns lose their first match. Come on, there was no way that was happening. Bullock and I, we talked about, we gave a brief thought about what we think is going to happen in the match next week. I think the Motor City Machine Guns are going to win, but Bullock made a great point at the end. He thinks DIY is going to win because he thinks that it might be a little too soon to give this kind of a push to Saban and Shelley, but he does make a good point. But at the end of the day, I mean, with all the hoopla and all the ballyhoo about the Motor City Machine Guns, and rightfully so, can you imagine if just 2 matches in, they're going to be getting their third match could possibly be for the tag team titles? Oof, man alive. So nothing from the Guardians. MF, we're going to the 9th, still tied at 2. So
all right.
So
we're gonna keep our eyes peeled. We just got to see how it plays out. So
yes, we do.
Right now, all right. So with that said, we will move on, because we're gonna leave some room just in case if we do have a magical moment here tonight. So
definitely
we're gonna save it. And right now we're gonna go to the next matchup, which was Nia Jax and Candice LeRae going up against Naomi and Bayley, and it was Nia Jax and Candice LeRae winning the match in 7 minutes and 35 seconds. So, Anthony, it is yours.
Okay, Tiffany Stratton was originally was unable to serve as Nia Jax's partner due to quote unquote illness. So the inaugural WWE Speed Women's Champion Candice LeRae stepped up to team with her against Naomi and Bayley. And Nia Jax almost won immediately by crushing Bayley in the corner. And once LeRae came in, the babyfaces took over. And Indy Hartwell got involved to give Candice and Nia an unfair advantage. She shoved Bayley into the ring post so Candice could get the pin. Nia looked shocked and a little upset that the Poison Pixie stole her thunder. This was quick, and a lot of it took place during a commercial break, but it wasn't bad by any means. LeRae is someone WWE needs to use more often, so seeing her get some spotlight this week was great. So, and it's so weird how Candice LeRae cannot bring her WWE Speed Women's Championship on other shows, and Bayley hit the ring post hard. So not much more on this. This was about another 2.5, 2 3/4 star match. So not much more to say. MF, a nice little moment here for Candice LeRae. I mean, recently she won the WWE Speed Women's Championship as part of WWE Speed on X. Mm-hmm. And now she gets thrust into a main spotlight for the first time in how long? I mean,
yeah.
And on top of that, they put her over. Yeah. Hopefully this is the start. Hopefully it's the start of bigger and better things for Mrs. Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. Plus, on top of that, if you notice, you never ever see the Speed champions, because remember, the men's champion is Andrade, and he never brings his title at all. So it's kind of weird why they don't do that. It's kind of weird, but anyway, it's fine for what it was worth. It was a good matchup. So we do go into the main event segment. That was basically it was Roman Reigns coming out. Bloodline did come out, and it was chaos running amok. So this was exactly what you wanted. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. This was the strongest way to close the show more than anything else. It's a great segment that they did. Good enough heat on Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline themselves. Uh, and the thing is, right now they're wait. You know it's gonna eventually happen. There's gonna be a Bloodline Civil War. It's gonna happen. And I do believe Jay will finally fall in line with Jimmy and Roman eventually. But the thing is, they need to find a hook. I think Monday night is going to start that hook that we're talking about, where we're going to see some drama break out, where you're going to see something where uh, Jay's going to lose the Intercontinental title because of Solo's bloodline. They're going to want revenge. Roman's going to be like, look, we offered you once. You said no. And then he'll be like, Oos, you saw what they did. All right, this one time, let's do it like the old ways. So that's what we might get. Who knows? So I like it. I thought they did a really good job with it. So Anthony, the closing segment is yours.
Yeah, good segment here. A good way to get heat on the on Solo's bloodline there, taking out Roman yet again, getting the last word. They got Roman, they got Jimmy. Jay didn't do a thing, and it definitely sets up that big hook for Monday night. So yeah, fine segment to close it out. So let me get into the overall review here. Last night's SmackDown was a little on the lackluster side, but that doesn't mean the whole show was bad. The women's and tag team divisions got a lot of attention, and the debut of the Motor City Machine Guns was a major highlight. WWE has hyped their debut for a few weeks and played it up on social media, but a lot of fans who never watched TNA are going to need to see more of them to get on board. The Bloodline story took center stage in the opening and closing segments. Solo Sikoa wanted Roman Reigns to acknowledge him in the middle of the ring, so they met in the final minutes of the show. Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu dragged out a beaten Jimmy Uso, and it set Roman off. He took out everyone in the bloodline, but the numbers game caught up to him, and he was absolutely decimated. DIY, Pretty Deadly, and the Street Profits put on the fight of the night, but the other triple threat tag match was also fun. Last night's show as a whole was nothing overly special, but it wasn't a bad way to spend 2 hours on a Friday night. So I'll give it about a solid 7 out of 10 for me. So, okay, bottom of the ninth. Guardians are going to come up, tied at 2. Well, actually, no, that was the second out. I'm sorry. So we still got one. My apologies for jumping the gun. So
no, that's okay. That's okay. You're fine.
All right. So one batter left. Anyway, at least one. But
all right.
Anyways, solid 7 out of 10 for me. So not much more to say. MF, your overall thoughts?
Yeah, no, solid 7 out of 10, no doubt about it. I thought they did a really good job with the show. Could it have been better? Yeah, but I'm not going to be too angry about it or too miffed about it. I think they did a really good job introducing the Motor City Machine Guns to the world. I thought they did a really good job with that. And like I said, I thought they did a solid job with everything. So, yeah, nothing more to say. Rarely, quickly, we're going to go to AEW Collision. We started off first fight of the night. AR Fox versus Ricochet. Ricochet winning the match in 12 minutes and 15 seconds. Then after that, we had Chris Statlander going up against Harley Cameron. Chris Statlander winning the match in 4 minutes. Then, right after that, Private Party, and Daniel Garcia versus the Supreme Athletes. And it was Private Party and Daniel Garcia in 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Orange Cassidy versus Bulk Bronson. And it was Orange Cassidy 25 seconds. Are you kidding me? All right. Brooke Havoc versus Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter winning in 2 minutes. Then we had Kyle Fletcher versus Atlas Jr. And it was Kyle Fletcher winning in 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Then after that, we had was the House of Black. They had a squash fight. They won in 3 minutes. Then we had the Outrunners going up against Rush and the Beast Mortals. And it was Rush and the Beast Mortals in 10 minutes. And then then we had our main event of the evening. Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac, they went up against Top Flight and Action Andretti for the Trios Championship, and it was the Blackpool Combat Club winning the match in 10 minutes even. So after that show, we did have a battle for the belts. Just to give you a quick thought on that as well, they had was another trios title shot, as it was the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Dark Order. Blackpool Combat Club winning in 5 minutes and 10 seconds in that one. After that, we had was Okada versus Kyle O'Reilly for the Continental title. Okada winning the match in 18 minutes and 50 seconds. Then we had was a non matchup. This was Lance Archer and Brian Cage versus Jack Cartwheel and John Cruz. Archer and Cage winning in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Then we had AEW Women's Championship Eliminator, Mariah May versus Anna Jay. Anna Jay wins the match in 12 minutes and 10 seconds. Yes, championship committee moment. Anna Jay now guaranteed a future AEW Women's title fight. And that will make our good friend Brian Abedisian a very happy camper with that outcome. That is it. That ended that portion of the event. So we really got nothing else to add. Right now, we are awaiting where we stand in the Major League Baseball. We are going to the bottom of the ninth. It is 2-2. So, and the ninth inning has begun. So, I don't know if I should call it here or if we should continue. I kind of feel like I'm probably going to call it. If we do get something major, then maybe I might hang around. But I kind of feel like right now there is nothing else to add here on the docket. So we are done for the night. On Monday night, we do it all over again as we start out with Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. There is nothing else to say, guys. So for Anthony Florio, I am Michael Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching this. Like the video, leave a comment, share with all your friends on all the social media platforms around the world. And until then, have a good night, everybody. So long for now, and we'll see you all on Monday night.